it to yourself. I'm feeling curious, want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay, we'll take it slow.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, happy to be here with my partners, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Our game tonight featuring the New York Knicks as they go up against the Celtics in Boston. So for the Celtics, their last game, a win against the 76ers at Wells Fargo Center. They've only come out in front in one of their first three games so far. So a win tonight will be important to them, to be at 500 instead of 3 games under. And for the Celtics, how about their head coach, Brad Stevens? He's a youthful-looking guy. I know he's over 40, doesn't look it, but he's very, very poised.
Well, truthful. I think the one thing that he is he's a straight-up coach who has a no-nonsense approach. He's comfortable in his own skin, and I think he does look younger than 40.
And, he's a young guy, but he's not afraid to challenge his players, and he keeps an even keel. You won't see him breaking any clipboards. I like this guy.
You may not see him breaking any clipboards. That doesn't mean he doesn't do it behind closed doors.
Well, see, there's a difference.
I know.
We like it when you're behind closed doors breaking them. We just don't want it in public. Don't embarrass us.
Here's Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
I never want to waste your time. My life, so precious, is yours, is mine. And look at the time. My God, so precious, is yours, is mine.
It's the home of the Celtics here in Boston as 2K Sports brings you today's action live. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. And also joining us on the sidelines, the league's most valuable player in 2004, Kevin Garnett. KG, it is great to have you with us.
Okay, how you been, man? It's good to see you,
Waiting
man.
for you to sit right here next to us. That's what I've been waiting
Man,
for.
thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Can't wait to get inside your impressions of this game. It'll be a lot of fun. Looking at Boston, they took a win in their last game against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
And, guys, we often hear the argument offense is the best defense, and that was the case for them.
Well, you can't really argue when they're executing like that. It was really perfect offense.
And before we get going, let's catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge, who had a chance to speak with head coach Brad Stevens. David, what do you have to say?
Well, guys, he has an admiration for what he called the intelligent, efficient offense played by today's opponent. He told me that the thing about this team is that they are so good at identifying the weak spots in an opponent, and they come at you in multiple ways depending on where those weak spots are. He said, we've got to be ready for everything. It's a pretty tall order. Guys?
Thank you, David. Kevin, especially back in Minnesota, you have some Hall of Fame battles with a guy named Tim Duncan. Talk about what those games, what those matchups were like.
Timmy's very crafty, man. Our battles used to be just, especially as young guys, man. Young guys trying to establish themselves in a gritty league at the time, full of some older, dominant names at the time. Michael Jordan, Elijah Malone. The time where the forward position was a very, very tough position. Timmy was one of them ones, man. Used angles very well. Was very long. had a lot of counters, very strong, and had an inner beast that people really didn't really talk about because you didn't really necessarily hear or see it. But man, he was one of the best, man. It's not by coincidence. He's one of the ones.
So the New York starting five, Porzingis and Hernan Gomez are together down low. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Ramon Sessions, and it's Lee in at the small forward position.
Kyrie can get to the free throw line and collect a lot of points because of his ability to drive it.
And people may not know, Kay, you're a member of the 2K community.
Have you been keeping up with the community, man?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Man, listen, shout out to all the 2K players out there. I'm Jizzle Lord. Y'all know what it is. I'm Jizzle Lord 5. Shout out to my OBF team. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Dex. Shout out to Bug. Shout out to everybody out there playing.
Wow.
Right. We definitely.
Wow.
It's all good. You know, I'm OBF. I'm about the team. I'm gang. You know what it is. Jizzle Lord. Y'all holler at me. Y'all know what it is, 2K. Right.
So it's the Celtics now. Al Horford, a player who doesn't dominate any one category as a big man, but KG has very few weaknesses. He's fundamentally sound.
He's very effective, man. Al Horford knows what he is. He's very solid with what he does. Sets great picks. He's able to create space between him and his defender. If you watch him, he's gotten better with his shot. He's gotten better with his three-point shot. He's able to shoot it at rapid style now. Being in Atlanta, being in a kind of a system where he was able to play kind of 4 guys, 1 in, and he would be more perimeter. He's really developed a perimeter shot now. It's really helped him. Now he's able to put the ball on the floor with a shot fake and go to the basket, make, other passes to guys. Really helped that whole system up there. Boston is a threat, but without Al Horford's play, his inside play, and his, able to go out and hit threes, they're not the same team without him.
Quality person, too.
Absolutely,
yes.
Man. No better locker room leader. He's one of these guys that, when you talk about men, you want to know that men can stand up and speak like men. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that's going to put on the table, and we are going to be in here speaking as men as it should be.
How about the height and the length and the athleticism of Kristaps Porzingis? Barely has to jump to throw that down.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Yeah, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one. Well, the fans out there watching this, Kev, can you talk about why it's so incredibly difficult to win an NBA title, to become a champion? Why is it such a tough process?
Well, just imagine having a goal and you're not pursuing the goal by yourself. Just say you and somebody else.
Relying on somebody else.
Relying on somebody else, okay? So let's just say you and someone are doing something, walking up a hill. Y'all getting ready to go walk up a hill. Well, the speed at which you want to walk at might be different from the other person. And what you realize about when you're trying to reach any goal is that you have to be connected. You have to be understanding of, we're going to walk up it together like at this speed, like this, or we're going fast, we're going slow. It has to be a great level of communication and understanding. At the same time, you have to have the same work ethic, because you have to understand you're together. And you don't get to go at this level and leave someone behind. You have to you got to pull them, you got to keep up, whatever it is. All this goes into trying to win.
It sure does. That's right. Kevin, coming out of high school, you were relatively mature for your age, at 17, turning 18, but do you ever regret not trying college and just seeing what that experience would have been like? I mean, it's such a long time ago, but you've had some chance probably to get some perspective on both sides of that story.
You know what, Kev? I look at it like the unknown is the unknown. Obviously, I've had friends that went to college. Some of my best friends went to college, and I think I've kind of lived it through them a little bit. Listen, when you have responsibility early in life,
which you did,
which I did,
yes,
and so from a mature level, things that interest me are not that interesting as you get older. Especially when you have to deal with a vigorous schedule of an NBA schedule. I wasn't able to, be the 17, 18-year-old to chill, have lean on the parents a little bit, be able to be at home, coming home through the weekends. I had a real life that I was responsible for, and I was growing something. I was building something. I was trying to not just be a young player in our league, but a young businessman, wanting to establish something for myself, my friends, my family. You can't do those things thinking like a normal 17, 18-year-old. You're taking pieces from grown men around you all the time. You're around people who need something all the time. At some point, you have to put all this together, and you have to make it work for you, and you have to put your spin on it and for how it works for you and your brand. And you have to be innovative with that. You have to be creative with that. You have to have a vision.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Well, I think they've got to ramp up the pressure. There's no excuse for letting them score at will in the paint. Make them feel you.
Kevin, when you entered the draft, no player had made the jump from high school to the NBA in 20 years. And what were your emotions when your name was called number 5 overall?
Oh, man, I remember that. It was
17 years old?
17, just turning 18 at the time. I was in like a whirlwind, to be honest. A lot of people don't know it's a lot of stuff that goes up into the draft, things that I wasn't aware of. You're training twice a day. You're trying to get ready for the combine. You're trying to get ready for pre-draft. You got to do workouts. This is all new to me, on top of still going to high school, trying to, graduate and stuff. So I figured it out. I hustled and I bustled and I juggled a bunch of different things. But once your name is called, it's almost like the culmination. It all comes together. It's a special moment for just you and your family and your loved ones and ones around you. And when my name was called, it felt like the world had stopped and everything was going very
Well, boy, I'll tell you, sprinting the floor, a dangerous threat when he's in space. Al Horford makes it look easy.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Boy, that's what you call timing. He doesn't have to break stride on the pass.
Irving dishes to Brown. He gets that one. Brown's got 6.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
I don't think you can ask for anything more, Greg. What a wonderful job establishing a lead early in this one.
Here's Sessions. Horford with the rebound. Boston leading by 18. Here's Brown. And that one is off. Nice D from Porzingis. Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently than that.
I call it dialed in.
What?
I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, I only know one way to accomplish something. You go at it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something lightly.
Can't walk through the park with this game,
not at all. Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true. Kevin, when you're talking about influences, you mentioned Chris Webber's name a lot.
Yeah, C-Web was kind of, he and Stacey Augmon was at a time where I was trying to find myself as a player.
Search for a roadmap, maybe, who do I most resemble?
Well, not only that, but just some direction. At the time I was a big who had handles, and if you know anything about Southern coaches, they don't want their big handling the ball.
Yeah.
So you get the ball up to a guard or whatever. It wasn't until I got to Chicago to where the scouts or, people were able to see, like, wow, this big can actually handle the ball. He has handle a little bit. And then my high school coach would actually make me bring the ball up to show off or showcase.
No kidding.
I hated it. I was like,
yeah,
my God,
but look
I
at what happened,
bring the ball up. And he knew that turning, I could handle it. I was like, oh, my God, I hated this. And he knew I would go and dunk him on. I was like, man, I don't want to shoot. He was like, no, bring the ball up. Anyways.
Ntilikina, he's checked in for New York. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
Yeah, just the tremendous effort on their part. They competed hard, but just couldn't get over the hump.
I think disappointing for sure. They were right there, and it's always difficult to lose those nip-and-tuck games.
And Kev, you think of the great ones. You, Kobe, I mean, Jordan.
Timmy.
Yeah, how about him? They worked harder than anybody else, Kevin.
And what you learn is that the similarity or the parallel that you all have is an inner animal that you never speak about. You know, we're all a little off. We're all a little dark, but that's what pushes you through pain. That's what pushes you through tough moments. When someone says you can't, when someone says this is not possible, this is unreal, no one's ever done it, that's the moment you're looking for. The moment someone told Kobe that he couldn't get over 50, 60, something Jordan couldn't do, he was driven in that. If Phil wouldn't have stopped him, he probably would have reached 100 points.
He probably would have, yeah.
You know, he did Will Chamberlain a favor. And that's just real. He was in that type of mode. We all share that passion. We all share that drive. And the ones that have that inner darkness, we all understand.
It's like a split personality, huh?
It's almost like another level.
Yeah. They double him with Horford. Porzingis passes to Hardaway. Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Smart. Poke loose. Porzingis with a screen on Irving. Ntilikina can't hit.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Kevin, one of the biggest moments of your career, the 2008 championship with the Boston Celtics. Talk about the camaraderie among that group of players.
You know, Kev, I can tell right away that we had something special getting together right in September, right before the year started. We started working out together. We started sharing concepts and how we saw the game. Right away, I can tell that the appetite was there. 1 through 15 guys. It's very rare that you're able to get that many guys in that early. As soon as Danny, signed guys, we were in, we were lifting, we was just, around each other, understanding each other, playing a lot. We was playing a lot. Then, fortunately, we was able to go off to Rome that year. Rome was a good distraction for us because we had to lean on one another.
To bond a little bit.
Seriously, because, none of us spoke Italian. If we wanted to go somewhere, we was always 3-4 deep, and no one was asking and no one was telling us to be with each other. We were just naturally being with each other so much that whenever you saw us to the restaurants, 9, 10 of us, that carried over to practice. Then we got 2 teams that are very competitive. Doc's letting us be who we want to be, and he's letting us play with passion, and our practices are over the top, aggressive, and to the point where it's too competitive to where he has to come in and separates us and, take the balls and cut the lights out and get us out of here. Yeah. To the point where he just lets us go. Now we start bringing concepts to him. He start trusting our IQs. Now we start putting a couple of things on defense. Thibodeau's in there. He's implementing stuff. When this flow is going like this, you don't know that you're going to win it all, but you're on the waves of something special. Right. And that's how that felt.
Pass to Baker, beyond the arc. Rebound, Boston. This, their first look at this year's New York squad.
And as you would expect, they came out on top in last season's series against this club, but no reason to expect anything different this time around.
You take nothing for granted. These teams are very familiar with one another, and we expect a close contest.
Here's Ojale, takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
I tell you have to respect the passing skills of Al Horford. He can pick apart a defense.
New York shooting 36% in this first quarter, trying to get their bearings. Kevin, of all the people you've faced, who is the toughest guy for you to score against down low? Let's pick that geography. Who is the toughest to score against down there?
Listen, I know a lot of people. I've always said Rasheed Wallace. I've always said Tim Duncan. They're probably the 2 that brought a different level of play out of me, but shout out to Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson, I don't know if people know this, but Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson was one of the better defenders in the post. He was very strong. He was very long. He didn't go for any counters. He was very disciplined. He was well prepared because he was a veteran. The refs let him get away with a lot, touching and grabbing. He knew when to be physical in some positions. He knew to do what we call work early. He would meet you at the three-point line, and he would be fighting you, and you would post up probably like a step outside the three-point line. Like, he was really good at some of his techniques and how he was able to control the post. After Cliff left the game, I watched a lot of his tape, and I took a lot of his
no kidding.
I had to, because it was so effective against me that I was able to use it against other post players on the defensive end.
I never knew that story.
Dennis Rodman was another guy I watched a lot. Akeem Olajuwon I watched a lot, because these guys were laterally very similar to my makeup. Akeem Olajuwon was long. He was able to laterally move with you. I was laterally able to move with guards and able to laterally to slide with some of the forwards and some of the more laterally gifted power forwards. And with that, able to get my feet together, being able to block shots, challenge the rim, stuff like that. Things that if you're going to get better at something, you got to go and reach and find the great ones that did it before you and take it, and then I was able to apply it, and I did those things.
Amazing how he gets this one to go. Size doesn't matter.
What fearlessness, right? He likes to go at taller defenders, and he shows he has what it takes to get it done.
The Knicks making a switch here. O'Quinn's checked in. No good from Irving.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Now here's McDermott. He's tightly guarded. Pass to Baker. Down to 5 on the shot clock. New York working now with the fresh shot clock. Celtics leading by 22. Here's Irving. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. And that's 21 points for Kyrie Irving.
Boy, how does Kyrie collect himself so quickly before going up?
They set the screen. Pass to Ntilikina. Offline with his 3.
I'll tell you, it'd be a big help if he could snap out of this cold streak. His shooting has been hurting them.
The Celtics shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And a season ago at the charity stripe, this is a group that shot an impressive 81%.
And New York making a change here. Kuzminskis has checked in. 29 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Ntilikina. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Irving's got the ball. Here's Ojale. Tries it again. Rozier. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
No, exactly right. You can't afford to get complacent, right? They have to stay hungry and humble if they want to keep this lead.
What a performance for Kyrie Irving. He has been the story for Boston. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter. And we'll be right back after this. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectations for himself and his teammates.
We expect so much out of each other every single night, and the team is going to go as hard as we go, as well as the other pieces that we have on the team. But we have to control it from a standpoint that we have to play off each other.
Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media, but also, perhaps the most demanding of all, are the expectations they've got for each other.
Oh yeah. They're constantly trying to manage expectations while still demanding the best from one another. And I got to tell you, it's fun to watch.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And a very convincing performance from the Celtics so far.
I mean, they're winning the turnover battle, and oftentimes that can swing things your way.
Well, you really like the activity on the defensive end. Outstanding, jumping into passing lanes and coming up with steals.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the floor for Boston, they've got Ojale. Rozier's out there with Kyrie Irving. Then it's Aaron Baines, and it's Horford in at the 4 spot.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
And it's good for 2.
You love how Al Horford used his length to corral that offensive board. He keeps possessions alive with his activity.
Passes it to Baker. From deep, and again, New York with the triple.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
Kevin, you were so successful jumping from high school to pros. What do you think about the current situation now, the age of 19, the minimum to go to the draft?
I'm always be a fan of the younger kids being able to have the opportunity. I don't like when you put parameters. I could see if college was really teaching these kids and really giving them a solid situation to be able to have something to defer to. But, these kids are not learning at the rate that you would like them to learn in college. And plus, they're not staying in college to these great institutions to be able to apply some of the things they're learning. So I just think that they need...
They're basketball players.
They're basketball players, but they should have the opportunity to take advantage of if you're able to play at 17, 18 like I was. Not saying that every kid's going to have that, but you have obviously the D-League. You have all these multiple leagues throughout the world and where kids go to play. Now, some kids have missed out just because of that 1 year and some mishaps. And you sit here and you can say, you know, for business is good for this. Listen, the business is what it's going to be. We need to develop and have these kids be professionals more than anything. We need to grow these kids from a skill level and an appetite level. Our game was built off for one to be better than the ones that's come before us. You know what I'm saying? Lou Alcindor came in here. He was, a.k.a. obviously Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was more encouraged to beat out Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell more than anything. And then that starts to trickle down from the effect of from Jordan wanting to be better than Larry Bird and Magic to Kobe wanting to be better than, you know, it's the same thing. It's being trickled down. And when I think of greatness, I think, you know, it's going to follow. It's going to be shadows, and at some point it's going to mimic.
It's a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. And those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times when you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players.
Yeah, nothing too flashy there, but O'Quinn certainly able to punch it down with authority because he is a big body.
And KG, talk about how the greats can just impose their will.
It's almost like another level.
Yeah.
When you see LeBron, what he did to Detroit in that fourth quarter, that's a blackout. You don't know what you're doing. When you see Kobe go for 81, when you see Chauncey come down on a one, these players are blacking out. These are elite players in elite moments, taking the moment. Paul Pierce is one of the best that I've ever seen grab a moment and savor it and just put it in slow-mo. And nothing's speeding them up.
Special players.
Special players. But I get a front row seat of seeing that. Ray Allen, the same thing. He had a great composure about himself to slow himself down and hit pressure shots. Tim Duncan, same thing.
And how about the quick hands there by Tatum? Terrific anticipation as he comes up with that steal and able to convert that defense into offense.
Kevin, over the years, we've seen a number of super teams develop, and in the Warriors' case, it's not the big three, it's the big four. Is this a trend you see continuing? You did it in Boston.
Man, look.
You were the original big three.
It seems like it, eh? You know, right.
You were the original big three.
You know what? It's like an innovative type of thing, right? I didn't even know that we were doing that. Right, because LeBron come back and do what? LeBron goes to
Miami. He's the big three right down there. Yeah.
And then what? Then it just starts morphing into these different things, right?
KD to Golden State.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What do you think of that?
I think this is pretty much the norm. You know what? Listen, I think KD took a lot of heat for it, but when you really think about what he's doing, is that, let's say 20 years from now, when he sits back and he wants to talk to Steph, he wants to talk to Draymond, he's talking to Clay. These are all going to be three greats with him. I'm just talking about those three guys. He's playing with three other greats. I'm sorry. If you had a chance to play with three other greats in the prime, Kev, you're going to do that. And if you don't, then something's wrong with you.
And KG, when you were bringing those greats together like you had in Boston, the intersection of you and Doc and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen, all these guys together, everything was aligned.
But you know, you got to go through something to be able to appreciate something. And I like to think that with the joining of myself and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce going to Boston, that we all had to have a journey up until that point and go through something and feel something and have something feel left out. We all was achieved when we all came together. Awards, countless all-star achievements. But then when it came to total winning and what we all do this for, we was all vacant. And that's what we all shared. And we all shared the same appetite for that, Kev.
Appetite.
And I'm telling you, man, when we all got together, we all knew never to let each other down. And we all gave each other 100%.
What a time. Here's Kuzminskis. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2. Kevin, growing up watching the game of basketball, who were some of your earliest influences?
My early influences in the game of basketball was Magic Johnson, obviously Michael Jordan, and then Chris Webber. Chris Webber, Malik Sealy was kind of like the younger generation of my inspiration.
Malik.
Yeah. St. John's was one of the destinations. Michigan was one of my college destinations. So those guys were my natural inspirations early on when I was young.
Wow, how about the dominance, the speed, the physicality of that from Marcus Smart? Go to work, son.
The Knicks have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. And again, Boston running the court in transition. Tatum's shot is off.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside.
And Kevin, you played for some great coaches, but is there any coach you would have been interested to work with that just didn't get a chance to? Say, Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson.
Those are great coaches. I've had very, very little time with those guys.
Maybe in all-star games and things like that.
I have. But, when you do all-star games, you let yourself go. You open up yourself to try to, be there and be present with the guys. Yes. Open up, hey, what's up? What's been up with you? How's the year for y'all? Y'all playing well. We're going to beat y'all when we see y'all, blah, blah, blah. But, you're very cordial. And, you're not talking too much about X's and O's. But you do share perspectives. You do share, philosophies. Pop is a great mind. I had a chance to sit with him a couple times. Phil's a great mind. Phil is super deep and loves the philosophy of. I haven't had a lot of time with those guys. Doc Rivers, shout to Doc. And, I know he doesn't get a lot for his philosophies, but he's very enriched with philosophies and styles and bringing teams together and trying to make sure that guys stay connected, stimulated. He would always tell us, never get bored with the process.
Wow, that's so intriguing. Interesting to hear. And KG, 2 decades later, you still look the same. You don't age. You do not. You do not age.
Man, listen, I wish I could use the Beyonce. I woke up like this, but actually I woke up like this and worked out some more and then worked out a little more to look like this.
You look terrific.
You look great too, man.
Thank you.
Man, what's the secrets, man?
I'm following you, watching your advice.
Yeah, right. You've been doing this way, man. Ken, what year is this for you, seriously?
Broadcasting the NBA, 20 years and then 12 years with 2K.
You're a beast, man. You know what I love about 2K, man? They bring the best in for the best.
You
understand, my dude? Straight up.
That's why we've got you. But Kevin, you play this game a lot, don't you? Man, especially when you were young.
Man, listen, man. 2K is it, bro. Hey, there's no other games out here. This is what it is. If you play basketball, if you online, nobody's playing nothing else. This is it.
Yeah.
2K is the cream of the crop. It's the gang. They know what it is. It's lit. They know what it is. Seriously, they ain't got to do this. They know.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
New York's gotten half their shots from three-point range to go down in the second quarter. 3 of 6 from downtown. Sessions, no good. And here's Boston. Kevin, we see some coaches get extremely emotional on the sideline. Others take a more even-keeled approach, more calm on the sideline. Which coaching style would you prefer to play for when you were in your prime? Did you want a coach who was animated, or did you want a coach that was just kind of settled on the sideline?
You know what? I like the coach that was settled on the sideline. I like to think that great coaches are going to be able to coach you in practice, and then during the games, it's about the product and what you put out on the floor.
Yes.
Coaches that have understanding, coaches that have vision, coaches that understand the game, understand that it's a game of runs, know that it's a game of momentum, and have plays for those momentums and those times, or coaches that I've always gravitated to and understood that
like Doc was kind of in between, wasn't he? Little bit of emotion, but he could also have a calm demeanor on that side.
Doc was all fire. I'm sorry. Doc, there was nothing calming about Doc.
I'm trying to cover Doc's back here.
No, shout to Doc. Doc will rip your head off if you wasn't supposed to. But you know what? You need to play with that edge. You needed to know that if you wasn't in your spot 1 through 15, you understood that you were supposed to be there. And it's good to play with that. I think that you don't want to be out there playing like, this is no big deal. Every play is a big deal. And no play, absolutely. And you know what? That severity, and you play with that importance and, knowing that you're playing for the next guy. So, that's important.
Kevin, we've all seen the evolution of the perimeter-style offense. Do you think it'll ever go so far that we'll see the game come back to an inside-oriented offensive scheme?
I think right now that with pace being the way it is now, Kev, I don't see it necessarily going through or going back to playing through the post. Although you have to have an alternative. I think that you just can't be all three-pointers and layups. I think you have to have a constant flow of inside-outside. I think it helps to have a post player. I think having a post player or a true post player that can score and dominate the middle opens up threes and opens up ball movement.
You played during the transition, too, didn't you? From a grinded-out type of game inside to the spacing that we have now.
I did, and I'd like to say that, Doc Rivers started the small ball, and, we were very, very keen on the small ball. So I think in today's game, you got to be able to shoot the three now and be able to handle the ball and put the ball on the floor and make decisions. So it shows that the game is transforming.
Al Horford, he's checked in for the Celtics. No good from Lee.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Well, the display of a little quickness on the drive. Al Horford, sensational.
There's 1:40 left in the first half. There's a screen by Cantor. The pass to Porzingis. Lee kicks to Cantor, and Cantor throws it down.
And defensively, just giving up the high percentage look down low.
Not a lot of aggressiveness from the defense right there. You didn't put up enough fight early to keep him from scoring in the post.
Oh, Kev, he put some anger behind that one.
You're telling me. KG, I know you can't stay any longer. You've got to move on, but we appreciate your time, and it's always great to see you.
Kev, anytime, man. It's great to see you, man. Anytime you need me, you let me know, man. I'm yours.
Former MVP, Defensive Player of the Year and champion, Kevin Garnett. And Doris, one of the things that really strikes me about KG, he's as smart as he is.
And it's not just when he's talking, but when others are talking. There's so much life to the conversation. Everything he brought to the court for 21 years, he now brings to the booth.
Here's Porzingis. It's good for his fourth bucket of the night. He's shooting 4 of 8.
Well, Porzingis will make you pay if you collapse off of him.
Here's Brown. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Brown's got 22 points.
I tell you, get the feeling he's only going to get better as this game wears on. That first quarter was good. His second quarter has been great.
He's feeling it. Here's Tatum. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Tatum's got 17.
Yeah, Tatum does not give up on the backboard. Outstanding timing in terms of when to leap for those offensive rebounds.
He's still up. Now he is 9 of 10.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Right, really a disappointing effort on the defensive end, not offering any challenge at all at the cup.
And it's out of bounds to the Knicks as New York retains possession. Just 4 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. The three from Porzingis. And so it's Boston, holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks a lot. Kyrie, what was your plan for tonight?
I was trying to get assists in the beginning, and I'm just having a good time out here. Got it going a little bit. Enjoying myself.
Okay, Kyrie, we'll see you in the second half. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Kyrie Irving was red hot to start the first. He had 25 points, 3 steals, and 2 rebounds. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Well, no one was able to check Kyrie. That was the difference. One of the league's best shot makers, largely because of his handles and body control. He can finish at the rim, drain jumpers off the dribble, and of course, his three-point shot now, absolutely deadly.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
Sloppy ball, way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that, Ernie. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, it'd be a different story. But if was a fifth, Ernie, you know the rest.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
Never a shortage of motion on Soldiers Field Road as we welcome you back to historic Boston. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, great job from him in that first half of drawing fouls and getting to the line.
Well, he certainly put the defense in a tough spot in that half. Forces the issue, draws the contact time and time again.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, anything can happen. Boston shooting the lights out in this building, 68% from the field. Doris, we've talked about the evolution of the specialist, the pure 3-and-D guy, for example, who in that category are some of the best in your opinion.
Well, I'm so happy that Klay Thompson has evolved from a guy who believed coming into the NBA that he would strictly be a 3-and-D guy to a much more versatile scorer. But in today's iteration, I would have to say Danny Green won a championship for the San Antonio Spurs, doing nothing but absorbing the biggest threat on the offensive end for the opponent and then being able to make huge threes at timely opportunities. Patrick Beverley, another guy grinding it out, increasingly making shots, and of course, tenacious on-ball defender.
And on the floor for Jeff Hornacek starting the second half, Porzingis and Hernangomez are together down low. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Ramon Sessions. And it's Lee in at the small forward.
How exciting is Jaylen Brown as a basketball player? This guy is a skilled forward who loves showing off that ability to dunk the basketball.
Both good from the line that time.
Number 3 overall back in 2016. Jaylen Brown with a powerful build on the wing, guys. 6'7", 233 pounds. I think you need those perimeter defenders who combine quickness and strength, and he's got it.
Irving double team over Lee. And he overshot that one, missing. New York shooting around 41% on the night. And stolen by Horford. And now the fast break. Irving with the ball. And they pick up 2. Irving's got 4 this quarter.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
And Doris, coming out of Cal Berkeley, the knock on Brown was his shooting touch.
There was such a wide variety of opinion on him in the draft. Some felt that he was a little bit of a reach, but this guy has shown promise and earning regular minutes and having some success with that three-pointer and athleticism. Boy, his output has been impressive today, and it doesn't look like he's done cooking just yet.
And Sessions kicks to Lee. And Irving comes to help. Here's Sessions, and it's sent back by Horford.
Well, how about the anticipation from Al Horford? Perfectly times the release, sends it back.
It's hauled in by Porzingis. Knicks have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. And a wide open look for Lee. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
I'll tell you, he's had a tough night. And if you're going to shake out of a slump, he's not going to do it with those kinds of shots.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Ball's knocked loose. Irving with the steal. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way. And a look here at the shot chart for Tatum.
Well, they say the mid-range game is a dying art form, but after looking at this shot chart, they are injecting a ton of life into it. Whatever space is being offered up to them in the mid-range, they have accepted and have continually knocked down shots to make the defense pay.
Sessions passes to Porzingis. And here is Hernangomez. Back to Porzingis. They set the pick. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Porzingis has got 5 points now this quarter. Irving drives in. It's rebounded by Porzingis. Porzingis has got 4 rebounds in this game. Lee against Brown, and stolen by Irving. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. And yes, it's good. Irving's got 10 points here in the second half.
Guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
Now here's Hardaway, guarded by Smart. They double him with Horford. Here's Hardaway, and then Hardaway with the dunk.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Horford, no luck. New York's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Lee kicks to Porzingis. They double him with Horford. Stolen by Smart, and that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession.
All right, a chance to look at the numbers for Kyrie Irving. Great showing for him last season. Averaged 25 points per game last season. 6 assists and 3 rebounds. He has been at his most dynamic, no question about it, a real handful.
Let's make no mistake, one of the elite talents in the NBA and operating at the highest level right now.
Kuzminskis kicks to Sessions. Irving with the steal. Here's Smart. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Horford's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Well, you know Marcus Smart understands how to use his body inside, and I just love how he goes right up with the shot.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
The feed to Irving, and that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Ntilikina, he's checked in for Sessions. Here's Irving. He has 35. Here's Smart. And that one hits back iron.
Well, obviously a notable improvement for the Boston Celtics last season on the offensive end. Their shooting percentages pretty much up across the board.
Now that we have a chance, let's go to the 2K leaderboard and reveal last season's top shot blockers. 5th, Porzingis.
And shot blocking is the element of the game that I think he cares about the most. That's where he puts in that effort and energy.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Tatum. Hardaway with it. Now guarded by Smart. There's the 3. The rebound by the Celtics. Horford's got 11 rebounds in the game. And when you look at the offensive improvement for the Celtics, Doris, last season, what do you attribute that to?
Well, I think a number of things went into that, Kev, but the acquisition of Al Horford was crucial. This guy finished 2nd on the team in assists, and he is also an excellent shooter. So he was able to affect winning with both his passing and his scoring ability.
The Celtics shooting 41% from the floor so far in the 3rd. Ojale passes to Irving. Good on the 3-point shot. Irving's got 38 points.
I'll tell you, this guy will not stop pouring it on. It doesn't matter what approach they've tried to use against him. He has had an answer for everything.
Here's Ntilikina, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And Frank Ntilikina out of France, played pro ball in Germany, and a lot of fans in the U.S. might not be as familiar with him, but for NBA execs and scouts, that's their job. Ntilikina has a game worthy of their attention.
And Ntilikina, he possesses that unselfishness that really allows his guys to play their best basketball. You got to love his approach.
Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Porzingis. He's off on the 2nd. In a draft stocked with point guards, Ntilikina's court vision, Greg, might be the best of them all.
I mean, he's a true pure point guard. At the same time, a good shooter. The length to defend wings, so that versatility makes him one of the more valuable prospects.
And the foul on Marcus Smart. That's his first foul. Rozier, he's checked in for Smart. And the call will be against Al Horford. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Dishes it to McDermott. Here's the screen. Pass to Ntilikina. Clock at 6.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
That's his first personal foul.
Back to Kuzminskis. 6 to shoot. Pass to Hernan Gomez. There's the steal.
This game is going to get even more out of hand unless they start valuing the basketball.
Just relentless. Really impressed with how they've been able to maintain that focus.
I think it's obvious, Greg. They want this win. They're showing no let-up in their attack right now.
Pass to Ntilikina. Back to Kuzminskis. Up again. Great positioning on the putback. Kuzminskis has got 7 points.
That's just sheer determination on the offensive glass, beating everyone to the spot for the tip-in. That's a complete effort. Stuck with his man, gets his hand up, and then he doesn't hesitate to finish the possession with the rebounding job.
And stolen by Irving. And Al Horford again. He's got 18.
I like the aggressiveness, Kevin. Horford is superb at staying in control on these tough shots.
They double him with Horford. Got a piece of it and stolen by Horford. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. And the basket by Rozier.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Knicks have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Knocked away. And another fast break chance here for the Celtics. Here we go. Yes, that goes in.
And this is the tempo you love to watch. I mean, get out fast before the defense can get set.
Under Armour, unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Here's Ntilikina. He's got 5. Outside Irving. Over Hardaway. No good from Irving.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Hardaway, no good.
Affecting the shot in a big way there. Excellent defense.
Well, you talk about getting into the space of the shooter. This is how you defend the paint.
Nice pass here to set that basket up.
New York's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. They need this. And it's Hardaway again missing. Boston's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. The shot's good from Irving.
Yeah, when Kyrie is heating up like he is here, it is must-see TV. The show is on.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
You know, he clearly made adjustments at halftime. Smooth offense right now.
Oh, fantastic dunk. And he hangs around up there just for a little camera time.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to land awkwardly. Who knows? But there he is, and we see it very clearly. There's the screen. Here's Ntilikina. No good on the triple.
Boy, he has been cold for a while now.
Yeah, starting to look like it's taking its toll mentally. He doesn't look like himself.
And Doris, as great as Al Horford is as a player, he might be even a better leader.
Well, he's a pro's pro. Al Horford is a guy who entered the league with great work habits and great skill. More than anything to me, though, it's his poise and calm demeanor under pressure that gives his teammates a ton of confidence.
Catching up on the changes for New York, Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Enes Kanter comes in for Kuzminskis. And it's Baker in for Hardaway. And that one's in. He's only missed 3 of 13.
I tell you, the defense is going to have to get in Al Horford's space because right now he's in a comfort zone.
Here's Ntilikina. 5 points in the game. And what was a wild ride of an offseason for the Knicks ultimately results in a regime change.
Yeah, I mean, players butting heads with executives, and when it came down to it, things just needed to change. If the Knicks picked the Zen Master over Porzingis, fans might have rioted in New York City, and hopefully the franchise can kind of start to right the ship. From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Shot from 12, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
I'll tell you, if he keeps missing shots, it's going to be a tough night to try to trim this lead.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
New York's gone downtown a lot since halftime. They've missed 5 of their 9 attempts out there. He kicks to Kanter. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket. Kanter's got 6.
I love that Kanter will pursue rebounds out of his area. This guy's such a powerful player who's willing to exert his will.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Baker kicks to Kanter. Now here's McDermott. He's tightly guarded. Here's O'Quinn. And Baines pulls it down. Baines has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Irving. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Irving's got 44.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
It's deflected. Now McDermott passes to Baker. The rebound by the Celtics. Rozier's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Irving. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal. While some are still speculating as to why Kyrie wanted out, the reality is, and it's this case with all great players, he feels like he's good enough to be the man on a team that can contend for a championship. And you might question how he went about it, but he's basically been a pro in his approach, and now he's got the chance.
And stolen by Kyrie Irving. The rebound by Baker. Inside. Here's Cantor. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Jason Tatum.
I'll tell you, Cantor's jump shot is very consistent. The defense has got to respect it, which is why that pump fake becomes effective.
So he gets them both. 8 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Brown with the drive. That one goes in. Brown's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, Jaylen Brown making it look easy right now. How about the strength in the post? It was like the defense wasn't even there, Kevin.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Celtics out in front, running away with it. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
Sit down.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Now the Knicks with it. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Allen is out there with Shane Larkin, and it's Nader in at the 3 spot. That's the Boston 5. And that one's drained from the low block. Nader's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Boston. And Sessions kicks to Cantor. Now here's Thomas. He's guarded closely. The dish now to O'Quinn. New York moving the ball around. Thomas, no good. And the Celtics shooting so well, the offensive execution has been brilliant. 66% from the field. They get it back. Nice shot by Yabusele.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Baker passes to Thomas. Double team on Thomas. Now here's Sessions, guarded closely. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Plays it in off the breakaway. Here's Sessions. And All-Star Week, a fan favorite certainly. But Doris, I've heard you say on more than one occasion you'd love to see a 3-on-3 competition.
Kevin, I think if you're trying to learn the game of basketball, putting yourself in a situation to play 3-on-3 is one of the greatest ways you can develop your game. One, it teaches you how to pass and cut, right? You cannot be effective in a 3-on-3 game unless you understand how to screen for somebody, how to set yourself up to come off of a screen. The shorter dynamic of the 3-on-3 in a half-court environment is one of the best ways to learn how to play the game of basketball.
I love that analysis. That's terrific.
And guys, that's one of the more basic plays in anybody's playbook, but not to mention also truly one of the best.
And Greg, the pick frees him up, and the dunk caps it off.
Yeah, run your offense with that kind of precision. Not much anyone can do to stop it.
got a piece of it. And a fast break now for the Celtics. The big dunk at the end of the break.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, and he was so quick to break on that one. A good sign that he read the play.
This is ridiculous. Can you remember the last time they missed?
I really can't. They're on fire. Seems like they cannot miss.
To the inside, and Cantor throws it down.
Boy, once Cantor establishes position on the interior, forget about it.
Tice, and they immediately answer back with the dunk at the other end.
Well, not exactly one of those big, burly power forwards, right? He depends on his leaping ability more than those guys, and it serves him just fine, Kev.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession. Beasley's checked in for the Knicks. Doris, what an honor. Inducted into your college's Hall of Fame, something not many of us can say. What does that kind of honor do for the confidence for you personally going forward?
You know what? Providence College is a place that means a great deal to me. So what that Hall of Fame induction did was just remind me of all the special memories that I shared with my teammates. I'm close with many of them today. And Kevin, you know this. You know, if you've ever been inside a locker room, it's those moments when you're laughing until your stomach hurts. I'd say we were the Hall of Fame fun team. That's what I'd say.
I think we're on the fun team here on 2K. Tice. Now here's Sessions. Not a lot of room. To the inside. And pushing it up. Here's Boston. Nader's shot's good.
Ripping and running. They have a big advantage now in those transition opportunities.
To the left wing, Thomas gets a wide open look. No good on the three. This has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of extending their lead and maintaining that intensity level. And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And Sessions kicks to Thomas. Off the screen. No good on the shot. Now Boston takes it the other way. Here's Larkin. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Larkin's got 6 here in this quarter.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
And Sessions kicks to Beasley. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beasley. The Knicks making a switch here. Kuzminskis has checked in. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
And the Boston Celtics, the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference last season. Doris, the first time in 9 seasons they held that spot.
And frankly, Kevin, they were way ahead of schedule. And with new stars like Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, they've become a championship contender.
Can they get it? Trains the three-pointer.
In that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game. And really the story of the half, one team shooting it lights out, the other, the lights are just out.
Yeah, that's right. You said it. They don't find a way to switch it back on. They're in trouble.
And All-Star Week, a fan favorite, certainly, Doris. We all love it as broadcasters, as fans. But are there any changes you'd like to make in any event or the weekend overall?
Well, I think one thing that would be fascinating to me is to see the best players, for instance, the Klay Thompsons, the Steph Currys, those people, the best shooters in the league, participate in that particular three-point contest. Think back to Larry Bird when he walked in the locker room and said, who's coming in second tonight? Like, those are great. We can't get enough of our stars. I'd like to see the stars have to participate in at least one event, Kev.
Good thoughts.
How about the concentration? He gets hit but stays with the play and gets the finish.
For New York, they've gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Beasley, the pass to Kuzminskis. Here's Baker. Shot clock at 6. From the arc. Kuzminskis, no good. They have been really controlling this one.
You never want to be complacent on the floor. That's when you lose momentum. Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Baker kicks to O'Quinn. Pick by O'Quinn. Back to Sessions. And there's the pass to Baker. Over Allen. Baker, no good. Well, they can tack on a few more points onto this run.
Yeah, it is starting to become a big one.
And that's a foul called on Ramon Sessions. That's his 5th foul for the Knicks. McDermott comes in for Michael Beasley. And it's Lee in for Sessions. Celtics passing it around. Tice lays it up off the glass.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Baker passes to O'Quinn. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
You know, that right there is a great example. O'Quinn has got great hands, so he can step out or bang inside with the best of them.
Kevin, he is tough to stop when he gets to the rim.
Yeah, Greg, he can get up a few notches higher. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Pass to Baker. Here's Kuzminskis. Picked by Lee. 6 on the shot clock. Over Allen. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim.
I'll tell you, if Lee gets a clean look from that spot, he's taking it. That's just too easy. How good is that pass? Certainly makes the offensive opportunity easy.
New York shooting 40% in the 4th. Baker kicks to Kuzminskis. The three-pointer, no good.
He's obviously still trying to find the range. No success this quarter. You wonder what it would take to get him to pass the ball. You know, you have to like that he's still getting quality touches and delivering now after getting blanked in the first half.
Lee passes to Baker. Here's Kuzminskis. The Knicks rebound. Another steal. And here we go with Allen running it up the court.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Well, that's how you attack in transition. Remarkable effort, getting as high percentage a look as you can really get.
Kick by O'Quinn. Baker kicks to Lee. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. And you look at Courtney Lee, a consistent presence at the shooting guard spot. You know, Doris, you know what you're going to get out of him from night to night.
There's real value in understanding you're going to get a tough defender, a guy who can space the floor on the offensive end, and he's not shy about doing the dirty work, Kev. He'll dig in and do the little things that help you win ball games.
Boston making a switch here. Ojale is checked in.
Yeah, these defenders just looked a bit overmatched, especially inside.
Baker passes to Lee. To the left wing. There's a screen by Cantor. Knocked loose and out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession. Boston shooting nearly 70% from the floor. They are putting on a clinic offensively. They get it again. Tice. And he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. Here's Yabusele. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Yabusele's got 12 points here in the second half. Picked by Lee. Another steal. From 12 feet out. Larkin. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And you can see the second chance points now starting to be a major factor.
And so here is New York. Lee outside. Kicks to McDermott. Over to the wing. And he can't stop the run as he misses.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
Yabusele. The Knicks pull it in. Cantor's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Baker. Doris, much to the chagrin of basketball purists, we're seeing the near extinction of...
Unbelievable.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, he gets up. The Knicks shooting 38% from the field, a pretty weak showing for them. Lee with the ball, and Allen picks him up defensively. McDermott, no one around him. The three-pointer off the mark. McDermott's gotten just 1 of his 4 attempts from the floor tonight.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Celtics.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so with this, they'll end up with their 2nd win on the year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Kyrie Irving.
Well, I think his contribution clearly came at the defensive end, right? He came up with a bunch of huge steals. He was a menace all night long.
Catching up on the changes for New York, Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Kuzminskis, and it's Ntilikina in for Lee. Think back to how Jeff Hornacek was as a player. Doris, you see that same demeanor on the sidelines.
Well, what you're talking about there, Kev, is sort of that gritty, no-nonsense, tough-minded approach. What Jeff Hornacek was as a player, he certainly displays similar attributes as a coach.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. It must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Here's Ntilikina. 44 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Listen, that's a look he can hit, but right now he can't throw it in the ocean.
Pass to Ojale. And he converts the layup.
And giving the fans what they came to see, a spirited performance.
Yeah, it really was. They wanted this home win badly, and they went out and took it.
McDermott can't get it to go. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked. And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
I think that's exactly the mentality you have to have. You don't want to give this team any hope of coming back.
And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both. To the wing on the left, shoots it up, goes back up. He lays it in.
Well, he doesn't quit on that play. Just stays with it and gets some easy points on the putback. That's nice.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And the first one at the line is good. Good on both. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They get it again. Ojale takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
I'll tell you, if you don't box out well, expect to get burned. You can't afford to give them second chance opportunities.
And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Kyrie, we're at an early part of the season, but what did you want to accomplish tonight individually and in the team flow?
Just wanted to come out here and compete, get the win. We wanted to set a standard for ourselves. The most important thing was just coming out here and competing for my teammates and, doing whatever possible to get this win.
And you all did that tonight. Thanks, Kyrie. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.